Dear students, today we are going to start chapter Mineral and Power Resources. As you already know that minerals plays a very important role in our daily life. Firstly, we will discuss what do you mean by minerals. Minerals are an indispensable part in our lives. Almost everything we use, from a tiny pin to a towering building or a big ship, all are made from minerals. We can also say that even the food we eat contain minerals. So in all stages of development, human beings have used minerals for their livelihood, decoration, festivities, religious and ceremonial sites. To start with the definition of minerals, minerals are naturally occurring substances. They have a definite chemical composition and they are also having different types of geological environments under varying conditions. We can also identify and classify minerals on the basis of their physical properties such as color, density, hardness, etc. Now I'll discuss rocks. These are the combination of homogeneous substances called minerals. Some rocks are having, like limestone, consist of a single mineral only, but there are so many rocks which are having majority of several minerals in different proportions. So on the basis of composition, we can classify minerals into two types, mainly two types, metallic and non-metallic. And after that, metallic also having different categories like ferrous, non-ferrous and precious minerals. So now to start with the metallic minerals, they contain metals in the raw form. Metals are hard substances and are good conductors of heat and electricity. They have a luster and shine. For example, iron ore, bauxite. These are the example of metallic minerals. They are further classified into ferrous and non-ferrous. So ferrous minerals contain iron ore, manganese and chromides. Now I'll discuss the non-ferrous. Non-ferrous minerals do not contain iron. However, they could contain some other metals like gold, silver, copper, etc. Because they do not contain iron, they are non-ferrous. So the second category is non-metallic minerals. They do not contain metals, therefore they are not good conductors of electricity and heat. For example, limestone, gypsum, coal and petroleum are coming in that category. And there are some processes through which we can extract the minerals from the earth's surface. These are the different processes of, for example, mining, drilling and quarrying. And to classify mining, there are two categories, open cast mining and shaft mining. So firstly, we will discuss what do you mean by mining. It is a process of taking out minerals from rocks buried under the earth's surface. The process of mining includes two methods. One is open cast mining and second is shaft mining. So to discuss with drilling, deep wells are bored to take out minerals out from the earth's surface. This process is called drilling. The last is the quarrying. In the process of quarrying, we simply dig out the minerals that lie near the earth's surface. Therefore, we need to be very careful while digging them, as maybe it could destroy the essential parts. Now to discuss with energy resources. Energy is required for all activities. It is needed to cook, to provide light and heat, and to propel vehicles and to drive machinery in industries. So energy can be generated from fuel minerals like coal and petroleum, natural gas, uranium and from electricity. Energy resources can be classified as conventional and non-conventional resources. So in the conventional category, we can have coal, petroleum, natural gas and electricity. And in the non-conventional, we can include solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, biogas, etc. So conventional sources of energy, the sources which we have been in use for a long time, like firewood and fossil fuels, are the two main conventional sources of energy. So to discuss with coal, petroleum and natural gas, we can say that coal in India is most abundantly available fossil fuel. It provides a substantial part of the nation's energy needs. It is used for power generation to supply energy to industry as well as for domestic use. So India is highly dependent on coal for meeting its commercial energy requirements. After that, we'll discuss petroleum. Petroleum or mineral oil is the next major energy source in India after coal. It provides fuel for heating and lighting, lubricants for machinery. So petroleum refineries act as a nodal industry for synthetic textile, fertilizers and numerous chemical industries. Next is natural gas. This is also an important clean energy resource found in association with or without petroleum. It is also used as a source of energy as well as an industrial raw material in the petrochemical industry. Now I'll discuss non-conventional sources of energy. So the growing consumption of energy has resulted in the country becoming increasingly dependent on fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas. Moreover, increasing use of fossil fuels also causes serious environmental problems. That's why there is a pressing need to use the renewable source of energy like solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy. So that's why these all are to be called as non-conventional source of energy. So at last we can discuss the conservation measures. Using the resources in a planned in a systematic way, or we can recycle all the minerals or metals using different alternative renewable substitutes. People can also conserve mineral resources by utilizing the renewable resources. For example, using hydroelectricity and solar power as source of energy may conserve mineral resources such as coal. There is a great scope for the expansion of several mineral-based industries which open the new area for economic development. Mineral resources may also be conserved through recycling. One should make use of new technological methods of mining. Training of miners can be very helpful in conserving the mineral resources by ensuring minimum wastage during the mining. Thank you. Have a nice day.